I realize there's no actual guide on YouTube for preparing for the crypto bull run. Yeah, there is some for tokens, there's some for NFTs, but I've been watching the markets for many years now, and I believe that I'm going to be able to put together a very simple and very easy to understand guide for preparing for the actual crypto bull run, whether it comes or not, right? You want to be prepared because there's going to be liquidity flowing into these markets for NFTs, for crypto gaming, for altcoins, and even for meme coins itself, right? So we want to be able to position ourselves correctly so we can capitalize off of this, right? We have people that want to, build brands, build companies, capitalize off certain niches, maybe capitalize off of utility NFTs, maybe capitalize off of expanding their IP within the Web3 world to go ahead and expand outside of that world. So there's many different avenues that you can take on actually capitalizing when more liquidity flows into the markets, right? But one thing that you have to do is prepare for it. So when it happens, you're ready to go. Because if you're not prepared, what's going to happen is there's going to be tons of euphoria. You're not going to be ready and everything is going to fly by very fast right before your eyes, and that shit's gonna be gone in a couple of months, and you're gonna be like, what the hell happened? I can't believe I just missed out on this opportunity. So I don't want you guys to be fucking little sitting ducks, little bots. I want you guys to be prepared. So it's gonna be very simple, no more talk, very, very simple. I'm gonna be showing you guys some actual examples of some projects. Not gonna be showing any projects because I'm not paid by any fucking projects. I don't care. I have my own companies. Everything is publicly listed on my Twitter. You guys can go check out my companies if you want. I'm not here to talk about them, not here to show them. I don't care. You guys can go ahead and look at it yourself if you would like. So what we have to understand is that this is a completely new market than what we saw a few years ago. We saw tons of liquidity back in 2021. Things are different now, right? We have different types of things like, ordinals, right? Bitcoin NFTs. We have things like different types of meme tokens, tons of new people looking at meme tokens, tons of new people looking at different alts, tons of new institutions and VCs and different funds looking at actual tokens itself, utility-based tokens. Like, the whole market is different, and we just have to understand that it's different. But what is not different is liquidity flowing into the market and the actual psychology of how liquidity flows into the markets and how people react to it. So we want to position ourselves correctly. And what I'm going to show you guys is different examples. And actually, I'm going to call out some projects too. So, just know that this could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but this is just my thesis on examples of what can actually happen. So just pay attention, right? So going into what I'm most knowledgeable about, which is NFTs, right? Because I actually launched my own companies. They did very well over the past few years. Many people know about them. Maybe if you guys are watching this, you might know what I'm talking about. We're going to look at NFT. So personally, myself within my own thesis is I don't believe you should be looking at these top projects. There's not enough room, right? Like if you're going to do a 2x here, what are you going to get? An 80 ETH floor. Like it's not viable to come into this space and look for a 50% gain or 100% gain. Like I'm not here for that. I don't know if you're here for that, but this is a very risky market to where you can get rugged. Things can happen. The government can fucking shut down one of these companies. You never know. So I'm not here to make 100% gain. I'm here to make 10x's, 20x's, 30x's, 40x's. And I think this is why you guys are watching this video. You want to be prepared for that, right? So we have to position ourselves accordingly. We're looking at the top projects, right? These guys have the highest market caps. If you have a $500 million market cap, you're going to need another $500 million to actually 2x, which is a lot of fucking money. And it's going to require tons of power away from retail, more so actual institutions and VCs to actually get it to that point. And you're going to have to rely on them and not the retail, right? Which is what I don't like. I'd rather get there before the retail, before the VCs, and ride the wave up as everyone else FOMOs in after I've already FOMOed in. This is exactly where you guys want to go and what you guys want to do. So the first thing I'm going to look at is actually speculation-based NFTs. NFTs that people buy based off speculation. So we're going to go ahead and look at some smaller projects, hence Oniforce, and we're going to look at this, for example, that used to have the crazy all-time highs back then. I think back in 2021, this thing was way past 10 ETH if I'm not wrong. Back then, this thing was fucking crazy. Everyone was FOMOing into this project, and we're just going to take a look at this. This actually pumped recently because a new team took over, and I don't know the whole story behind it. Again, I'm not looking into 100% of everything about these projects. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But this project, for example, is a great catalyst for an actual speculation-based NFT. And why? That's because this has a new team. It's not utility-based, and people are looking at it because they actually like the art and because they think that the price will go up in the future, which is exactly what a speculation-based NFT is. There's no utility involved, and this actually gives it a lot more room to run. Utility-based NFTs can only run so high because people are basically pegging the price to the actual utility itself based off either how much money they can make, save, or the actual tangible value that they can get out of it when they're utilizing the actual utility. So when people say, oh, utility NFTs are the future, I mean, it's great, it's a different sector, but the ability for it to pump to certain levels is not as high as speculation-based NFTs, which is what we're looking at, like PFPs. A lot of people say PFP NFTs are dead. I don't think so. This shit's gonna stay around for a long time. It's always going to have its own market. It's always going to have its own people, just like watches, just like iced out watches. They have their own niche markets. They have their own customers. They have their own people. So it's the same thing here. We're looking at different types of NFTs. And I'm gonna get into tokens in a second. Don't worry. I know some people here wanna look at tokens, but I'm just trying to give the overall guide. We look at projects like Pudgy Penguins. What is the probability for Pudgy Penguins to hit a 10th floor? I don't know. Hence, I'm not going to look at it. The market cap is already so high. We're basing things off of if you want to make money using these NFTs. A lot of people want to buy these NFTs and get into the community, go to the IRL events. Great. I've been to a lot of these IRL events, and as a guy who's done very well online, I can say that there's not too much value for me to be there. A lot of people just want to be friends. A lot of people just want to fucking dilly-dally and drink and smoke. I'm not really into that. So when we look into more projects, just like potatoes and the whole Memeland ecosystem, a lot of people are buying this because of the speculation of the actual meme token and also on the speculation based off what the team is going to do in the future, which is great. People are betting on the team, but at the end of the day, it is a utility-based NFT, right? There's going to be a token peg. So, and hence, it's actually a utility NFT. We look at things like Milady Maker. This is at a 3 ETH floor, but in all reality, it is people are literally just buying this because they really fuck with the community. They really want to just be a part of the community. And also too, they're buying it because they think in the future the price can go up. This pumped super hard a couple months ago because Elon made a meme tweet about this. Like, we can even look at it. It didn't take me a while to find the actual tweet actually, so I'm not going to go look at it. But what we're looking at here is an NFT that has the room to run to 10, 20 ETH in the future if more money pours into this. I don't know if institutions and VCs actually got into this, but what I do know is that people that are smart, people that have money, have gotten into this project. And when we look at the wallets that have bought into this project, we have some very large whale wallets that have bought into this project that can actually keep on gigasending this project if they would like. So we look at projects like that, just like I've shown, these are great examples of projects that can actually take off once more attention and once more liquidity comes back into the space. And I'm not saying these are going to do 10x, 20x, but I'm saying that there's a good chance that these have more upside potential than Bored Ape Yacht Club and maybe than Azuki. If you guys think Azuki is going to pump to a 30 ETH floor, that's great. But at the end of the day, that's only a 2x. I'm not looking for 2x's, right? That's actually under a 2x. So at the end of the day, I'm just telling you guys, this shit is the same game as actual tokens, as is NFTs. If you want to get into larger cap tokens, if you want to get into larger cap NFTs, you're going to see smaller upside potential in terms of actual percentages to actually gain to a 2x, 3x, 4x. It's very, very low chance that you're going to see that anytime soon. You want to get into things that have a lower cap, just like maybe a project that has a 0.5 ETH floor that maybe just came out, that has no utility, that has no plans on having utility. These are the things that you want to look at when it comes to speculation-based NFTs. So now I'm going to go into utility-based NFTs, and I'm going to actually go on the memberships tab here on OpenSea. And I'm actually using OpenSea because that's what I still use. Some people use Blur, other marketplaces. I still use OpenSea. So here we have utility-based NFTs, and the ones I'm going to be going over here are the ones that have, trading, seed round opportunities, alpha, all that involved. These are the utility-based NFTs that I mainly look at. So right now we're just talking about the Ponzi, and what I mean by the Ponzi is NFTs, utility-based NFTs, that literally live and thrive off the base of the market, right? So if the Web3 space is doing well, if the NFT space is doing well, then these NFTs will do well, right? It's just like very correlated because people are buying into these projects and people hold these projects so they can make money off the Web3 space. And what I mean by that is, let's per se you're getting into projects like Custodium Key. If meme coins are doing well, if NFTs are doing well, then Custodium Key is going to do well, right? Why? Because these guys focus heavily on shitcoins and meme coins. Hence, if the meme coin space is doing well, if the shitcoin space is doing well, then people are going to buy into Custodium Key because these guys have tons of alpha and knowledge on making money with shitcoins. So it's very relative. You are definitely, if meme coins pump, if shitcoins pump like crazy, if they start going wild, you are going to see a pump in this. I'm not promising you anything, but you are going to see a pump in this. And you guys can come back to this and look at this video if that's true. I can't tell you where the floor price will be in a month from now for this because I can't tell you where Memecoins will be in a month from now. This is a video of preparation. This is not a video of predictions. This is preparation. And now we're looking into other projects like Underground Pass and maybe even Dark Echelon, which are projects that are based off if the actual NFT space does very well, if whitelists and pre-sales are doing well, then these projects are inherently going to pump. And why is that? This is because these projects get tons of allocations for whitelists, and also these projects are also on top of the market, and these projects are also on top of the newest trends in the market. So the teams on these projects like Dark Echelon and Underground, and even other ones, maybe even Project Gojira, these projects are going to do well if whitelists are doing well. It's just connected. And why is that? Because these projects have proven that they're able to get very great and very amazing whitelist allocations from upcoming projects. And what are whitelist allocations? Basically the exact same thing as a pre-sale slot for a token. These guys are just getting in before the public. So if you want to be able to get into these pre-sale opportunities for NFTs so you can make money off NFTs and so you can flip on the actual launch, or you can flip later on and get in early so there's less risk for you on these NFTs, these are some great projects. And when the actual space is doing well, not just on whitelists and pre-sales you can do well on, these guys are also projects and people inside have liquidity. They can move markets. These guys know exactly where floor prices are going to go for a bunch of different shitty projects, right? Shitty PFP projects. And this is the exact same thing as shitcoins. With shitcoins, there's an exact equivalent in parallel to NFTs, which is shitty NFTs, just fucking degen projects. Projects that pop up out of nowhere and come and go. It always happens. Quick pumps, quick dumps. This is the name of the game. It exists. It's real. You have to admit it. So this is exactly my thesis, and this is exactly what I'm looking at when it comes to, PFPs, speculation-based NFTs, utility NFTs. There is a lot more to it, but I wanted to make this on the relatively shorter side for you guys, so you're not sitting here all day looking at this guide. But again, we have other projects like D-Gods, like Pudgy Penguins, like, Memeland, that are expected to drop more collections in the future. It might happen, it might not happen, right? It's all speculation based. And this is why people look at these projects. This is why their floor prices are so high. People speculate a lot. And again, I personally wouldn't buy into these projects because I just don't see 2x potential. And again, I'm not shitting on the team. I'm not shitting on the project. I think that they're great projects. The thing is, for me, looking into my thesis, looking into where I want to put my money, I'm looking for a bigger return than a 2x, right? Than a 3x. I'm looking for 10, 20, 30x gains. And I know a lot of people are too. And if you're the type of guy that wants to go safer, that wants to go on the safer route, this is fine. Get into projects maybe like Utes. Get into projects maybe like Pudgy Penguins. Maybe they might go down. I don't know. That's the whole point. Why would you get into something for a 2x? I'm personally not. If you want to go to their IRL events, if you want to go hang out with people at parties in the real world, you can do that. What we're looking at now is Metaverse. Metaverse hype is real. Metaverse hype is big. Metaverse and gaming is closely tied. We have a lot of new things, Apple VR headset, all this shit, people speculating. Personally, I don't see the Apple VR headset and all these tokens correlated. I just don't see it happening, right? We have Decentraland, we have other things like, Sandbox, all this. OG coins that have been around for a while, right? Decentraland, all that. It's been there. People have done it. People have seen it. People have pumped it. People have dumped it. I'm currently not looking at these tokens. I'm looking at other tokens. And even you can go back to NFTs, and a lot of these NFT projects, these NFT gaming projects are launching tokens, right? So I just want you guys to be diligent and look at the projects that have upcoming tokens and look at where they might go. Look at who their VCs are. If you have large size VCs, what you might see is a project that's going to pump and dump, and it's just going to happen. VCs have to take profit. Some of these guys have longer vesting schedules. You can look into that yourself and do your own research. But at the end of the day, I'm just not really looking into these projects that already have pre-VC funding because it is just a headache. I'd rather look at projects where the VCs have already dumped. Maybe we can look at a project like Illuvium. Where's Illuvium? We look at the yearly chart or we look at the all-time chart. This shit's looking pretty bad compared to the all-time chart. But at the end of the day, this is because VCs have taken profit. Retail has lost interest. Attention is away. Now, when we're looking at this, we're thinking, oh my God, the chart looks so bad. But at the end of the day, this is not retail dumping. Retail doesn't even have this much of this token. This is VCs dumping. So at the end of the day, we look at this and say, hey, has the thesis, has the fundamentals, and has the project changed? The answer is probably no. And I haven't looked into this Illuvium project too much. I used to follow it a lot, but the market cap is 100 mil. What are the chances of this project going to $1 billion? I don't know. But hey, this project has been around for a long time and it's been way past the multi-billion-dollar market cap level. So in my eyes, this is a project that I want to keep an eye on because the potential for this to 10x is a lot greater than, let's per se, something like ApeCoin. We look at ApeCoin right here. This has been dumped heavily by the VCs as well, but this is already at an $800 million market cap. Yes, Yuga, yes, I know they had like a $4.5 billion valuation. I get it. This is some big boys right here, right? There's tons of big VCs involved. Retail loves it. But at the end of the day, ApeCoin and their entire ecosystem is heavily tied together. In order for ApeCoin to move, a lot of other things have to move, right? There's just too much that has to move. Too much liquidity has to move. So in looking at ApeCoin, this is just something that I'm not really looking at in terms of a 10x gain. I know you can look at a lot of projects. I know you can look at a lot of things. Probably slap your money into any of these coins. Metaverse coins, maybe the top 10, slap like $1,000 in each. And maybe when the bull run comes, you'll be up big. But I'm looking into something a little bit more than that. I don't want to just make a quick 5x, 2x, 3x. I'm looking for the bigger gains, as I keep on saying. So in all reality, there's a couple of things. The big dogs will keep on eating the small dogs, but there is some small dogs that end up pushing through, and these guys will end up pushing through and going ahead and doing a 10, 20, 30x. So you want to go ahead and take a look at the projects that have already had high market caps, that have already had the big VCs dump, and you want to look at these guys and say, hey, this is something that might pump. I want to look at the team. I want to look at the Twitter. I want to see what the sentiment is. If you look at the sentiment and see that it's still good, this is maybe something you should put on your list. And I'm not saying you put all your money right now because a lot of these projects are a falling knife. And for those of you that don't know what a falling knife is, it basically means that shit is going to go to zero. And no, I'm not saying this project is. I'm just saying in all reality, a lot of these projects will go to zero. There's just too much projects launching. There's just too much money flowing. It's very hard for all of these to succeed. Now, you are going to see a pump in Metaverse tokens very soon, and you are going to think, oh my God, it's time. But in all reality, I don't think that this pump is coming for a while. So I think you guys have time to prepare. When no one is talking about these tokens is when you want to start looking at them. Because when everyone is talking about, oh my God, it's going to go to a $10 billion market cap now. This shit is pumping. Oh my God, we're going to go higher. That is your exact signal to get out. So I want you guys to be attentive and to be very wary about Metaverse tokens. We look at the market cap, it's 11.5 billion, right? This thing just increased 7% in I think the last 24 hours. You looking at your thesis and yourself, if you don't think that this is going to be at $100 billion, then you are absolutely tripping. It 100% will reach $100 billion. People are going to be coming in. People are going to be wanting to buy. People are going to want to put their money here. And big VCs and big institutions are eyeing a lot of these projects right now, and big institutions will start coming in once they see more momentum. The bull market will start once the VCs and institutions start getting in, and then from there, it'll be a war within themselves. A lot of people think that they're fighting against their other retail friends, but in all reality, it's not. You are just basically trying to dodge bullets from VCs and institutions, and you got to make sure that you don't get fucking hit. You want to get out when the euphoria is at its maximum level. So be very careful. So now I want to look at some other stuff. I want to look at meme coins, right? And there's a couple that I've been eyeing, and there's a couple that I think are going to do very well long term just because of the actual narrative itself. Now, all of these coins are going to go to zero one day. I don't know where they'll be tomorrow. I don't know where they'll be today. I don't know. So make sure that you're very careful. There's a lot of different dog coins, a lot of different Elon Musk pump tokens that are just bullshit that will go to zero, that have really shitty dev teams. So you got to be careful. Now, one thing about these meme tokens is that people think that they're going to reach their all-time highs again. Now, if you have that thesis in mind, then you are going to get wrecked. You have to be very careful. I personally, I'm not investing into these meme coins thinking that they're going to reach all-time highs again. I'm looking for a 10, 20x and exit, and that is it. So now we're going to look at meme tokens. There's a lot of different things that you got to be careful with here. One thing that I'm going to say is that all of this shit is gambling. I do not endorse any of these tokens that I'm showing here. This is all just fun and games gambling. I actually don't recommend that you put anything over 1% of your net worth into any of these tokens. And if you are, and if you lose all your money, then that's on you. All these fucking tokens are going to go to zero one day. And that is something that you got to engrave in your head, right? Ingrain that shit. Because this is not funny. This is a fucking game. PvP war, you versus the other opponent, which is the other motherfucker that you probably follow on Twitter. So you got to be very careful, right? If you're going to follow influencers and, listen to them, oh my God, it's going higher, then good luck. Use your own intelligence, use your own critical thinking, which a lot of you guys probably don't have because you're just following along to everything that you see. You follow the newest influencer, which at the end of the day is why you're here. You're trying to build your own theses. You're trying to build your own understandings of how this market works and how you're supposed to move on through it. Now, a lot of people want to look at these big ass tokens like Floki, for example, and invest into them and think that, oh my God, I'm gonna make a 20x. Look, at the end of the day, Floki is a big ass token, $230 million market cap. The chances of this doing a 10x are a lot lower than some of these tokens, right? You want to look at tokens that are below $10 million market cap. You want to look at tokens that are below $20 million market cap. Right now, I would consider Floki against all other meme coins on the safer side. It has an established team. It has a team that is not going to rug you. It has a team that is already built out their entire branding. They already have all their shit built out, right? Their IP is expanded. Great. The potential for this to grow is a lot smaller than tokens like, let's per se, MONKEYS, right? Now I'm going to explain MONKEYS here, for example. My thesis behind it, it's super simple. We look at this from all-time highs. This shit has crashed pretty fucking bad. This token recently just released also. Now, if we were to look at the all-time highs comparably to now, this shit crashed relatively quick. In about a month, this thing is down 80%, right? This is the game. This is how meme coins work. But then when we look at the actual narrative behind MONKEYS, it's very simple. And I'm only buying into this token for only this reason. And everyone else is. Look at this. Elon Musk's list is called MONKEYS. So now what people are speculating is that Elon Musk is going to tweet about his Twitter list or start using his Twitter list more publicly. And basically, people are going to buy into the token, right? It's very simple how these meme coins work. And there's an actual narrative behind this one, which is why I'm buying it. People see Elon Musk's list. People keep on following it. I believe this is going to reach one day 1 million followers. And when that happens, more people see it. And what happens when more people see meme tokens? They're going to keep on buying in. So when this list is only at 40,000 followers and these guys have already reached a $40 million market cap plus, this is a no-brainer for me, right? It's at a $6.8 million market cap. Now, the potential for this to 10x, 20x is a lot higher than Floki, which is hence why I'm buying into this instead of Floki. This only needs to reach $60 million to 10x. When we look at how easy that is easy as fuck. One tweet from Elon Musk, a couple tweets from Elon Musk about his Twitter list, that might happen. The potential of that happening is very, very possible. These are the types of tokens that I'm looking at, right? We look at other tokens like GATSBY. What is GATSBY? Elon Musk's biggest dog. Now, we always know that dog tokens from Elon Musk always do well. We look at Floki, we look at Shiba Inu, we look at Floki, right, which is what I just showed you guys, $230 million market cap. We look at Shiba Inu, which is super simple one to understand. Obviously, a lot of you guys know about this one. This one's at almost $7.5 billion market cap. And then we look at Doge, which is at billions of dollars. So the thesis here is very simple. This, for example, launched in this new NFT wave and is down about 65% from all-time highs. So the ability for this to 10x or 20x is a lot higher than Dogecoin, right? I personally don't think that Dogecoin will ever 100x. It's not possible in my opinion. But the ability for this to 100x is way higher than all the other dog coins. And this is just something that we have to admit. 100x here would be a $200 million market cap. Now, how hard is that for an Elon Musk dog coin? I don't know. You tell me. You look at all the past coins. So the narrative behind this is very simple to understand. There's no complications behind these coins. All you got to know is there a good team? Are they going to fucking rug me? Do they have their shit together? Do they actually know how to build a brand? And are they here for the long term? And a lot of these teams are Anin, are not docs, and this is the risk that you're taking. Do you want a 100x or do you want to take a risk for a 5x? Maybe with Floki. I'd rather take this risk. Now, as I said earlier, all of this shit is going to go to zero one day. This is not something that you hold for the rest of your life. This is not something that you're going to get brainwashed by some fucking dumb influencer, and he's going to tell you to hold on to it forever because it's going to give you passive income. No, do not listen to that. At the end of the day, all of this shit is going to go to zero, and you have to have that in your head. Maybe it might not, but at the end of the day, you built your thesis in your head that this shit's going to zero, and if you don't have that thesis, good luck, you're going to get fucking rugged. Let's go back to maybe something else like Monkey. The ability for this to 100x. $700 million market cap. I'm looking at tokens like this. This is my thesis for meme tokens. And I have no other thesis. I'm not looking at too many meme coins. We have some other ones like Pepe that a lot of people bought into. Now it's at, it reached a multi-billion-dollar market cap, reached almost a $2 billion market cap. Now it's back down to 450 million. The ability for this to 10x, 20x, 100x is very low compared to the other ones I just showed you. Now, obviously, the chances of this rugging are a lot lower than the other ones, but at the end of the day, why would I want to put my money into something for such a small gain? When I say money, we're putting small bets. If you're expecting a 50x, maybe put a very small amount of your net worth, right? Or a very small amount of your liquid cash that you have available to deploy into these projects. At the end of the day, this is something that you guys just have to use your common sense with. I can't tell you guys more than enough to be very careful. This entire space, the entire crypto world is a PvP world. It's like a video game. It's like Call of Duty. It's like GTA. People are out here to kill each other. People are going to tell you they're your best friend and they're going to fucking put a bullet and stab you in the back of your head. Be very careful. I don't know how else to say it. I can't sugarcoat it. And I personally have lost over $1 million, which would put me in the 7-figure mark of getting fucking screwed over because I thought shit was going to go up, because I trusted some people in this crypto world and all this. Don't trust anybody. Build your connections, build your reach, build new relationships as fast as you can, and especially build relationships with important people. And how do you do that? Well, guess what? You gotta be important yourself. You gotta have something on the line that's important for other people to wanna be your friend. And if that's not the case, then what the fuck do you expect? Why would anyone want to be your friend? Ask yourself that simple question, right? Now, this is the crypto world. You have to have crypto value. You have to have some type of value that people would find that they would like to exchange with you. So if you're a person that has a high in demand skill or that has some high in demand connection, guess what? Make sure it's known that you have that. Because if not, there's nothing to you. You're useless. Make sure that you keep yourself useful for the people around you. Make sure that you're constantly helping people, giving them value without expecting anything back in return. And the good karma will do its effect. You will be put in circles. You will be put in rooms that are going to help you. And as I said earlier, getting into these groups, or not as I said earlier, I didn't actually say this earlier, but getting into small groups, getting into niche groups that are going to tell you exactly where to go, that are going to help you guide you in certain directions, that's where you want to go. A lot of groups, for example, have 10,000 people in them or 5,000 people in them. You're not going to find your alpha there. You're not going to find your secret information there that's going to put you at the level that you want to get into. In my opinion, build a small group, 10, 20 people. Keep the circle small and build out that outreach, build out that research network. Make sure that you have people that are constantly engaged. A group of 20 people that are constantly helping each other and working together to make something happen is a lot better than a group of 10,000 people that are just sitting there all waiting for information, right? Because this is very common, right? We have these big ass groups and there's only 5 people contributing and everybody else is just sitting there like a sitting fucking duck, hoping and waiting that someone will give them information. Those are losers. You want to stay far away from them. There's too many of those people that just sit there and expect you to give them information. Once you find out that a person is like that within your vicinity, get far the fuck away from them. They're a leech. Keep yourself in the network of people that you know actually have value, actually have power, and actually have common sense. A lot of people are going to sell themselves to you like a fucking grimy salesman. Be very careful. This is the guide to preparing yourself for this run. This is, in my opinion, my thoughts through my experience and through my research. I basically freestyled this entire video. So if I left out some points, it's because I freestyled this video. I know I didn't tap into Bitcoin ordinals too much, and that is because I'm simply not educated enough on it enough to where I feel I can give you the correct information. Now, everything else, I can tell you I've comfortably made millions of dollars trading on everything else. So I can tell you guys all about that because I've done it, right? I've proven it. I've shown it over and over. And to my group at Dark Echelon and Dark Labs, we've made tons of money through there. In Dark Echelon, for example, we made $20 million through just whitelist and pre-sale flipping. We have all that documented. We actually had a spreadsheet where we calculated all of that. And why is that? That is because we simply had me, aka Amir fucking Hussein, that had all the connections and all the respect to all these founders to where they wanted to give us whitelists in return through exchange of, whether we partner with them, whether I made a post for a whitelist giveaway on my Twitter for them. That is what leveraged us. And there's other people like, for example, Ryan D Crypto. These guys had similar things, right? These guys have similar groups where they basically got a shitload of fucking whitelists. And then another guy like Crypto Gorilla, we had tons of access to tons of pre-sales and whitelists. And I can comfortably say these guys have proven and shown that they've made their groups millions and millions of dollars, maybe even in the 8 figures like me. So we're looking at this and we're saying, how do we make this happen? Look, position yourself correctly. Get into whitelist groups for NFTs comfortably. Maybe even mine, right? We have Dark Echelon. I don't want to shill too hard. The reality is that we're really fucking good, right? We were at the top of this. We were at the top of the space in the NFT bull market back in 2021, 2022. We were at the top. And I can comfortably say that, and other people will agree with me. There were other groups that were just like that, but we were one of the best. There's other groups that were not NFT based, maybe like Gorilla, Rindy Crypto. They had some subscription based groups. They were killing it. I believe if they were NFTs, if they converted their groups to NFTs, they would be at a very high floor back in the bull market. Now, we've calmed down. The floor price has gone down for Dark Echelon, for example, because of the demand for what we're offering has gone down. It's very simple. Why is the floor price going down for utility NFTs? Because the demand for the utility being provided there has gone down. It's very simple. Now, when that demand goes up, you can expect the floor price to go up, right? Now, inherently, we look at logic. The logic doesn't apply a lot of times to this space. So don't try to get too invested into researching these projects. A lot of times, all you gotta know is this project gonna hard rug me or not? If the answer is no, then you're on a pretty good path, because a lot of these projects will fucking rug you really hard. Now, personally myself, I don't do too much research into any of these projects. I don't do way too much because it's a waste of time. And applying too much logic to the crypto world will never do you well. Applying logic to maybe some huge market cap securities based, stock, bond, all that world, maybe Bitcoin, great, right? Maybe you can apply some bit of logic there. But in reality, logic doesn't apply to these projects because people are just trading against each other. It's a trading war no matter what. Look at what is going to have demand. Look at what is going to have high speculation in the future. Where will people be looking? And that's where you want to look. Where will people be looking? Not where are people looking? If there's something that people are looking at, that means it's too late. If there's something that people will look at, that means that you should probably fucking get in there because people haven't looked at it yet, right? This is a very simple thesis. Crypto is a very simple world. And once you've figured it out, once you've had some experience, once you've gone through the mud, once you've been fucking rugged a million times, you're gonna get it. A lot of people get rugged 100,000 times and they just never get it. And that's because they're fucking stupid as hell. And we stay far away from those people. If I find anyone that tells me, oh, I've been rugged 100 times, I just stay away from them because I don't even want to call them the word that I want to call them. At the end of the day, the process is simple. Make sure you are on top of your shit. The run is going to come. The bull run is going to come. I don't know when it's going to come, but there's going to be more liquidity flowing into the market, and you're not going to be prepared because you didn't fucking follow every direction in this video. Make sure you're ready. Follow my Twitter, by the way, because this is where I'm going to be posting all the updates for what I'm seeing, right? Just like other people say, follow my Twitter. But yeah, look, follow my Twitter. I provided some fucking crazy value here. Follow my Twitter. I think I deserve a follow.